All right, so now we are about to make us a half pan of cornbread to accompany our mac and cheese and our other items that we have today. So I have my dry mix already in my bowl. I'm going to add 2 eggs to the mixture. Don't get any shells in there. I'm going to use 1 can of evaporated milk, and I'm going to kind of like slowly add it in here as I gently mix it around. I stopped. I'm going to mix this around a little bit and then continue to add this in here, or add more in here. You can make your cornbread from scratch using a flour and a cornmeal base. You can use Jiffy or whatever cornbread mixtures or brands or whatever you like. Again, this is all about your preference. Now I'm stirring, and I don't know if you can see, but my mix is thick. So I need to continue to add my milk in here. And you can use a spoon. You can use a hand mixer. I prefer a whisk. That way I know I'm look at the flick of the wrist. I know I'm whipping it. I'm getting it how I need it to get, how I need to get it. I'm hands-on with the food. I also would suggest, if you're cooking for the public consumption, to wear like a hair net or bonnet, or make sure your hair is tied up. This is just to show you idiots. No, I'm just kidding. This is just to show you guys how to make certain items, so I don't have to have my hair tied up, even though I really should, or I prefer to normally. Now I don't know if you can see this consistency. This is close to how we want it. We have a little bit of evaporated milk left. I'm just going to add the remainder, and now whisk that in. Then I have some melted butter I'm going to add as well. Now, I have some secret ingredients, but they don't call them secret for a reason. I mean, they don't call them secret for no reason. Now, those have already been added into the mixture. Sorry, I can't share that with you. But you figure out some secret ingredients of your own to make other people's recipes be your own. Make it work for you. So we've added the rest of our canned milk. We've added in some melted butter. We're whisking everything all together. We have our oven preheated to 350. Again, everyone's oven settings are different. So, you can gauge 350, 375, definitely no higher than 400. I think for cornbread, 350, 375 max is always perfect, but to each their own. All right, now this is perfect. It's not too thick. It's not too runny. That's the perfect consistency. We have another foil pan. I hate unnecessary dishes. We're going to spray this down with some cooking spray. Utilize whatever you want. I just have the original Pam spray that I'm going to use. And you just want to make sure you kind of get every nook and cranny on this pan. You don't want any sticking. Should look like so. From here, we're going to pour our mixture into our pan. Stick our cornbread in alongside that mac and get that going. All right, guys, here we are, buttering her up, fresh out the oven. So I just get you can get a spatula, anything that you have to use, and you generously butter it up. I put enough on here so it can seep down in the crevices at the bottom. Butter her up. Nothing pretty here. It's going to be pretty after, but nothing pretty about this process. It's like you're lathering a baby in lotion or lathering somebody in some soap for a bath. And again, the whole purpose is you kind of want it to like seep down on the sides and just enough to absorb in. You want to do this while it's fresh out. That way it helps it melt. That's a little too much. I'm getting a little excited. But that's enough. We don't want to do any more after that. But we want it to seep in. So after I butter it, I try to make sure that all of the butter is smooth and melted, like how this wetness, I don't know, let's see, how that is. You don't want to leave any clumps like this. Why? I mean, if you don't care, if it's just for like personal consumption for your family in the house, no big deal. But if you leave it like the clumps like that and let it sit or soak in, it'll stain your cornbread. Say if you're doing this for public consumption or something like that. You want to try to keep your food as pretty as you possibly can. And again, doing this while it's super hot, it helps your butter melt and for you to be able to glide it on slow and easy. I meant to say not slow, for you to glide it on nice and easy. And then sometimes, as you can see, we sprayed it with the cooking spray, so nothing is stuck here. It literally can come out using a spoon if needed. And then once you get it all in there, you just kind of separate it from the side to help that butter seep down along the side and to the bottom. And here we are. You can let that set in the middle if you want to. It'll go inside the crevices here. Sometimes you can help it to ensure that it's going where you want it to go and doing what you want it to do. And then I let it sit for about 5, maybe 10 minutes before I like cover it if I'm utilizing this for catering purposes or public consumption if I'm taking it somewhere. But also I let it sit so that I know that the butter is nice and absorbed and everything is soaked in and it's given what I need it to give before I cut into it. But I mean, if you're one of those people that are just greedy and you can't wait, you can cut into it right now if you wanted to. But that looks really good. Yeah, this won't disappoint. 10 out of 10. I do recommend Dirty Bird's chicken for the win. Cornbread. This is so hot. But look at that. Nice and buttery.